Good evening and welcome to our second Facebook Live today. Thank you for joining us. My name's Jenny McCormack and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. I popped on to do a Facebook Live this morning. Normally my Facebook Live consists of crafting, and you can watch what I get up to in my crafting sessions. This evening I popped on to show you our new papers from our July to December catalogue. That's this one that you can see here. And each time we have a new catalogue, I do offer paper shares. Basically what that allows you to do is try out all of the papers. So I take the main papers from the catalogue and I divide each pack up into quarters, and then you can purchase a paper share, which is basically a quarter of all the papers that you can see here on my list. It doesn't always include every single paper, and some of the specialty papers I do a separate paper share for, because not everybody likes the specialty papers. So I thought I would just run through the papers with you this evening so you can see them, and just explain how that paper share works. So the paper share is only available for people in the UK. It doesn't matter if you're a demonstrator or a customer. You can take my paper share. So this information will be on my Facebook page. You can also find it on my blog. And there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 main papers included, and one set of vellums included in our paper shares from the July to December catalogue. Also, because it's celebration time, I will include 2 sets of celebration papers, assuming they are still available when you order your paper share. You can't order this paper share directly through Stampin' Up. You can only do it through demonstrators. So if you have an existing demonstrator, by all means, check with them whether they're offering a paper share. And if not, you're most welcome to come to me and order the paper share. It can be shipped out to you, or you can collect it. And the price for a quarter of all of these items, with one exception, which is the Gingham cottage, which I'll explain when we get there, is £32, and that gives you a quarter. So the whole set of papers that I have here is what you would get in a paper share. Okay, let's get cracking. You can find all the details of the papers at the back of the catalogue on page 82 and 83. If you've got the printed catalogue, you'll see the main set of papers here, and I've also picked up the vellums, which are on page 83. All but one of the packs actually starts as 12 by 12, and these will come to you cut 6 inches by 12 inches. The first patterns we have are called literally black and white designs, and these are designs that go with some of our Halloween stamps. Now, I'm not a big Halloween fan, so I'm quite glad to see just black and white designs and no witches or black cats or anything else like that. So this is the black and white designs. So they're black and white on one side, and if I turn them over, they're black and grey, or this one is black and white and black. So as you can see, we have stripes of different sizes. We have stars, you can see those, even stripes. We have this almost like a checkerboard or harlequin effect, depending on which way you put it. zigzags and spots. So that is a quarter of a pack. So it was 12 by 12. There's 12 sheets. I've cut it, split it in two, and then cut it in half. So those are called black and white designs. Now any of these packs you can of course buy as a whole pack in its own right. So if you're not interested in the paper share, you can just order individual packs of paper. The next one we've got is boughs of holly. This again is 12 by 12 inches when it starts, and as you can see this is really pretty, very traditional red and green poinsettias and holly. So I'll show you one side first and then the other. So this is 6 inches by 12 again. So we have this one here, and it seems quite unreal to be showing you Christmas papers on the hottest day of the year here in the UK. But I'm slightly late getting this information out, so I thought I would just crack on and do it today. So there's poinsettias. There's this one here that reminds me slightly of the painted Christmas, but it does coordinate with the a holly stamp set that we have this time round. We had this one with those lovely trees, and then sort of watercolour style poinsettias. So that's one side, and I do try and cut them to make the most of the papers. Okay, and then on the other side we've got some plain watercolour or paint washes, a few dots and things in there, some stripes. This is soft succulent, and we've got some old olive mossy meadow, and then this one was just almost like a stone effect. So that is called boughs of holly. Very traditional red and green. The next one we have are the festive foils. So these are single-sided, they're white on the reverse, and they're quite heavily foiled sheets. They're not heavy in terms of the card or the paper. And so we've got soft succulent. I'm not sure if this is cherry cobbler or not, I haven't checked. Get real red, one or the other. And then that lovely yellow. So this is only 3 sheets, because in the festive foils pack itself there are only 6 sheets altogether. So there's 2 each of these, so I've cut it and then cut it down again. But very pretty. My favourite is probably this one, but if you know me, you know that I do like yellow. Okay, so that's festive foils. The next one we have is the Gingham cottage. Let's pop that paperclip black on there. Keep them all together. So the Gingham cottage is a 48 sheet pack of paper, so it's more than double the normal amount. And so what I've done is I've given you an 1/8 of a pack, keeps the cost down. So the actual full pack is only £28, but you get all of these in here, and you get 4 of each of these. So obviously they're ginghams in lots of different forms. So let me just run through these. We've got black and white, and we've got different styles of ginghams, as you'll see. Sort of hand painted gingham in greens. And then we've got the large square ginghams in the grey. Different set of green, so you've got soft sea foam here and mint macaron. And then we've got orange and black, perfect for Halloween. Grey and white. And then we've got the pink and white. That's Blushing Bride. Black and grey, but with a crisscross effect this time. Very bold. White and red. Like a picnic basket. Very bold. Crushed curry. And then, again, that's sort of hand-drawn. Calypso coral. And then black and white with the crisscross. So that's one side. So they're quite bright, larger designs. So you'll probably find you only use a small amount at a time. Make great scrapbook pages, of course. But this is why I did an eighth of a pack. So you didn't have too many of these. Okay, so we've got crisscross. We've got the smaller crosses. The large bold print in black and white. The smaller ones again. So this one almost looks like it's been white heat embossed by its effect. Then we've got the pink, small black and grey, the small red, yellow, I think that's so saffron, calypso coral, and then a black and white. So that is called Gingham Cottage. So lots of different uses for that. Great for boxes especially as well. Okay, the next one is the only 6x6 pack out of the standard and specialty papers. There are some other glitter papers that are 6x6. I haven't included those in here because it's not one that everybody always wants to see. So this is called Lights Aglow, and all of these sheets have gold embossing on them. I don't know how much you can see. If I just tilt it slightly, I have got the lights on here. So we've got this one with the white backing and the dots. Stars. So the colours here, as you can see, Evening Evergreen Soft Succulent. And then we've got that, if I turn this one over, try and put all of the gold embossed sides together. So this has got almost like a tree branch image on it, if you did it that way. So we've got this one. And then this one has 4 panels that you can cut up, and this does coordinate with a stamp set and a set of dies as well. But you could very easily just cut that into 4 and put a gold embossed greeting in the middle of each of those if you wanted to. There's this one in the reds, and then little stars or snowflakes depending on what you want those to be. And then we've got soft succulent with a little fleck of gold. We've got gold Christmas trees, if you can see that design. And then we've got bands of stars. Let me turn it over because that's the gold side. So this is very vanilla with some gold embossing. It's quite nice to have some vanilla. This one in soft succulent, and then we've got black and grey and gold, and black, white and gold. These would be great for men's cards as well. Let me show you the reverse. So this is Lights Aglow 6x6, and there's 12 sheets in the paper share. So hi and welcome if you're watching. Thanks so much for joining me. So these are the plainer sides. I mean, they're hardly plain, but they are the non-embossed sides. So we've got Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, And then we've got some cherry cobbler. This is also with vanilla and a nice bouquet effect. More greens, same one. That's it. Stars. The bouquet again, and then black, and then black and grey. So a really useful set of papers. Those come as 6x6, so they will come to you as a quarter of a pack of the 6x6, so 12 sheets. Then we have the Rustic Harvest, and I can't show you those because for some reason I didn't order them in my original delivery, so I have now ordered them, but you will get 6 sheets of the Rustic Harvest. The next one is Santa Express, and these obviously have matching stamps, dies, as well as the papers, and the dies cut out elements of the papers as well. So we have Santa in various forms and guises, obviously in his train for Santa Express. And the stamp set and the dies have the train and the little carriages as well. So we have this one side first, and then Santa and Mrs. Claus. And then this is pale papaya in the background. And then we have a reindeer and presents as one of the carriages. And then we have a stack of presents. Makes your eyes go funny, that one. And then we have some stylized Christmas trees. And then we have some scenes here with the candy canes, the trees and the presents. And I cut it this way so that you could do 4 full cards with that. And then if we look at the reverse of those, we've got stripes, and they've all got a slight vintage look to them. So we've got green and white. This says fa la 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 la, ho ho ho. Nice bright green and white little dots that are slightly uneven, and then we've got little stars or snowflakes, and then like shooting stars for this one. So that is Santa Express. The next one we have is Splendid Day, which I have already shown you in passing, maybe for a card or two. So this is heavily foiled. So we have 6 sheets, very heavily foiled on one side, as you can see, trying not to reflect it too much. And then we have some nice muted colours on the reverse. Let me show you the foiled sides. So we have different colours of foil. I'm trying to keep it down so it doesn't reflect too much. It's always easier said than done, isn't it? Just turn this one away a little bit. Okay, there we are. And then we've got a sort of coppery one. We've got a greeny gold one, a rose gold, a slight purple hint, and then this lovely one here, which is soft sea foam with white. So those are the foiled sides, and again you get 6 pieces like this. And then we've got some watercolour, slight vintage look, so it's got a little bit of patterning in it. So this little splodge here is supposed to be there. It's not a fault. You can see actually quite clearly on there. It's got a bit of a wash to it. And we've got this one here. We've got some little foliage, This one. There's the sort of highlight, well, it's Fresh Freesia, I think, that one. And then we have the green. So nice combination of foiled on one side. There we go. So that's called Splendid Day. And you get 6 of those in your pack. And then we have Storybook Gnomes. So gnomes are a little bit of fun. I've got a clip without the clip. So we have gnomes and toadstools for this one. So I'll flick through these on one side and then again the reverse. And you may say, well, gnomes are not really for me. I understand that, not everybody's cup of tea. But there are some nice backings as well. So we've got mushroomed toadstools. We've got our little gnomes tucked in here. So there is a stamp set that goes with this, if you're into gnomes. And then we have moose, deer, some cute little foxes, rabbits and birds, and there's a stamp set that goes with those as well. And then we have toadstools with snowflakes in between. This might be one of my favourite pieces, which is this one with trees and the hills in the blue and the white, nice traditional. And then a sheet of the gnomes, and again I've tried to cut them to get the maximum set of gnomes for you. And then if I turn these over, I think these snowflake ties are really, really pretty. So if you're not into gnomes, just ignore that side. So we've got snowflakes in various shades of blue. But here we've got these fun stylized trees. We've got some small scenes with the moose and the gnomes, and the back of that is the toadstools. And then we have snowflakes in Pacific Point, and then a nice balmy blue set of prints, very Scandi looking, to go with the gnomes, I guess. Okay, let's add that one on. Oh, I've got a broken clip. Just going to leave those separate for a minute. In fact, I'll put this clip onto there. So that was Storybook Gnomes. Now we're on to Sweetest Christmas. So as I said before, this is my paper share, so you get 1/4 of a pack of all of them, except the Gingham cottage, where you get 1/8 of a pack because it's a double size pack. So here we have Sweetest Christmas, and you might have guessed this is all about the candy canes. So this has dies that coordinate with the set, coordinates with the stamps, and excuse me, I've cut this so that you can cut out the candy canes either manually or with the dies. So very much traditional red, white, green with a hint of pool party. So candy canes in the red and white, nice classy looking. We've got red and white dots with a slightly sort of broken background, and then we've got green little white ovals, stripes, and then a different kind of stripe, and that's one side. And then again, very traditional colours, so stripes in red, green and white. Green and white, this is garden green, real red, and pool party. A wider version of that there. And then the candy canes in the red and the green. And then finally, which just make your eyes go funny, tiny little crisscross. They look like dots, but they're tiny little crisscrosses. So that is Sweetest Christmas. Swap these tabs over, and then the final one are the snowflake vellum. So I decided to use these, although there are some other specialist ones. I thought these would be the most popular. So we have vellum. This has got flocking on it, so you've got one with white flock, very good for people that may be hard of sight. So we have that, and then we have the same thing but with foiling. If you can see that, it's quite difficult. Let me move that one away, maybe you can see that better. So there's foiling, and then we have flock with snowflakes in white, and then the same one in foiling. It's quite holographic, as you can see. And then we have more snowflakes. These ones are a little bit more symmetrical, and then the coordinating foils. So you get 6 of those all together. Okay, and these are 6 by 6 because the sheets come as just 6 pieces of vellum all together. Okay, so those are the products in our paper share. 2 of the papers I'm hoping to include will be these ones here from Celebration, and also the ones that I featured in Celebration this morning, if I have the opportunity, which is the Wonderful World, which are these ones here. And if not, there are some silver and white sheets that I can include, so it just depends on what I have available. So these one here are called Ring of Love. Coordinates with a few stamp sets, and it features, as you can see, poinsettias and houses and birds. So excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So this is the poinsettia, and this is 1/4 of a pack. Then we have toadstools and butterflies. We have these lovely houses that you can fussy cut. Make some great scenes with those. We have these lovely watercolour birds. That's really pretty. Acorns and oak leaves. And then this one here, which is quite spring-like, with the flowers and florals on it. And let me show the other. So this is another set of papers that you could choose for free with a £45 order yourself. Okay, so we have the trees, we have the wood rings, and this coordinates with stamp set and the dies and the embossing folder. We have some beautiful mandala patterns. Love this colourway, it's really pretty. Bit of sort of watercolour effect, great for skies. And then a similar one with yellow with a bit of foliage in. And then finally a crisscross design. Be perfect for baskets or something like that, or just the background. Okay, so that's one of the free sets that I hope to include. So you will get some Celebration papers as part of the paper share, but I can't guarantee at this point exactly which one you'll get. Okay, I think I've done enough talking, so I'm about to lose my voice. So I just wanted to run through those with you. So these paper shares are now available to order. And what happens is I will take orders, and then as soon as I have 4 complete orders, I will order the whole set and then divvy those up into quarters and then send them out or get them ready for you to collect. So they're £32, and literally all I've done is taken the cost of all of the papers divided by 4. I rounded it down a little bit to make it nice and easy. We don't want to deal with odd pence here and there. And then applied a postage cost if you would like it posted out to you. So that is the information there. I'll pop that information up on my blog as well, so you can be able to see that on geminicrafts.co.uk. And if you have any queries or questions, don't hesitate to message me and ask any questions that you may have. So thank you so much. A little impromptu hop onto Facebook, but I just wanted to run through the papers with you. So thanks for watching. If you're watching on catch up or replay and have any questions, don't hesitate to pop them in the comments or just email me, jenny@geminicrafts.co.uk. I'll just move that up. Hopefully you'll be able to see that at the bottom. Thank you so much. Have a great time. Look after yourselves and your loved ones. Keep safe. Bye for now.